Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and you'll have to excuse what we've got going on in the background today. I'm working from home and I'm a slightly chaotic worker. I have my desk normally strewn with mess, it looks terrible, and at home I have even more clutter to put on the desk, but we've got candles to make it cozy, so that's the setup that we're going with. And in line with those chaotic tendencies of mine, I'm finally filming the end of year book tag. It is like November, I think we're on the 23rd of November today, and I think most people did this tag about 2 months ago, but I salute anybody who has a full-time job and still manages to film, because I just can't do it. When you get home from work, how do you motivate yourself to do anything other than just sit and watch TV and fall asleep on the sofa? Because I just can't seem to do anything else. But better late than never is the end of year book tag for 2023. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And yes there are. You can tell a lot about my state of mind from the number of books I have on the go at any one time, and currently I have a lot of books on the go, so not in the best state of mind, just I'm a bit all over the place with my reading. So I would like to finish A Mouthful of Birds by Samanta Schweblin. This is a short story collection that I'm about halfway through. I'm a little bit of the way through Prophet Song by Lynch, which I'm really enjoying, but finding the writing style quite difficult. I'm reluctant to compare it to Milkman, because I think it's always, you're always going to fall into the trap of doing that because they're both pieces of Irish literature, but I'm having the same issues with the writing style that I had with Milkman. I'm just finding it quite impenetrable, even though I'm really enjoying sort of the themes it's discussing. It's about I don't want to say dystopian future, it's like slightly more dystopian than what we're living in now. This is in Ireland, and we're following a man and his wife. He works for a teachers union in Ireland, and the police in Ireland are really cracking down on unions and sort of people taking a stance against their employer, so people are starting to be censored and like arrested for just doing their daily jobs. So yeah, enjoying that one. Still reading Siblings by Brigitte Reimann. That is a piece of classic East German literature, and again I'm really enjoying, but it's, I wouldn't say difficult to read, it's just one of those that sort of is very ideas and character driven. It's very slow and there's not a lot sort of compelling me to pick it back up, even though when I read it I enjoy it. It's just taking brain power, and any books that are taking brain power are just sort of falling to the back burner at the moment. What else am I reading? There's other stuff as well. I started reading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I really want to like it, but I'm really struggling to get into it, so I'm going to try that on audio. I think that's going to be my next book that I tackle, and Beyond the Wall by Katja. This is again focusing on the theme of the former GDR. It's a non-fiction about the history of the GDR and sort of the ideas that it generated, and you know, its pitfalls, but also some of the ways in which society was actually better under socialism. It's a really good read. I think it's very nuanced. It doesn't present the GDR as like this utopia, because it definitely wasn't, but it also doesn't just fall into the trap that a lot of non-fiction books do, of being like, oh look how awful this socialist state was in terms of the human rights record, and just sort of fail to address like the sort of good ideas that come out of socialism. So it doesn't seek to like discredit socialism like I think a lot of non-fiction books do, that deal with like socialism in, you know, like the post-World War Europe up until the late 1980s. So yeah, really enjoying that one, but it takes a lot of brain power again. I wrote my dissertation quite heavily on issues sort of surrounding the GDR, and I finished that a few months ago, and I just haven't really wanted to go back to a lot of GDR stuff, just because I was reading a lot of stuff about it at the time. So yeah, those are the books that I would like to finish, and I think I should. There aren't that many books there, and I've still got a month to finish them, so I'm feeling hopeful, and I'm enjoying all of them, which makes it a lot easier. So the next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year with? And this is where I probably should have filmed this tag sooner, because we are, well, I mean, we're still in autumn, it's still November, but yeah, we're sort of making way for like Christmassy vibes now. I'm not quite ready to delve into all the Christmassy reads. I don't really read that much Christmassy stuff anyway, but I'm still in my autumn phase. So like I said, the Night Circus I think will be, if I can get into it, will be a good kind of fantasy, which I always enjoy reading in the colder months, and I'm hoping it will be maybe a bit more light-hearted than some of the literary fiction and non-fiction that I've been reading recently. So there's that. I would also like to read The Secret History, and I'm planning a Dark Academia reading vlog, although whether that will actually happen, because I'm really busy at the moment with work and just life stuff, is another matter. So yeah, hopefully those two. 3, is there a new release you're still waiting for? And I haven't really been following new releases all that much this year, to be honest. The one book that I really want to read that was released this year is Bookshops and Bonedust. I haven't got my hands on that yet, and honestly I probably won't get the chance to read that this year because I have some other books that I've got planned. I'm hoping to get that one out of the library, and there are a lot of holds on it at the moment, so it'll be a few months I think before I get around to that one, but I am really excited about it. Question number 4 is, what 3 books do you want to read before the end of the year? And I've kind of addressed that anyway. I think the books that I've got going on at the moment will kind of tide me over. I have got a hold on And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie on audio from the library, so I'm planning to read that kind of like Christmas time. The Witch and the Tsar, I can't remember the name of the author, that just looks like a fantasy book with kind of Russian folklore elements to it. I thought, I don't really know anything about that book, but I saw it in the library and was just like, yeah, I'll try that, so maybe I'll read that over Christmas. And oh, another 2023 release actually, Reach for the Stars. Again, I can't remember the author, but I'll put the picture in here. This is just a history of pop music in the 90s, which sounds really, really interesting, and I think that'll be a good Christmas date read for me. I bought that on Kindle a couple of weeks ago when it was on offer, so really excited for that one too. Question 5 is there a book that could shock you and become your favourite book of the year? I think my favourite book of the year I've just finished reading, it's Carla by Colin Walsh. I'm going to talk about that in another reading vlog. Absolutely adored it. I don't think anything could top that. I think The Secret History will go either way for me. I'm expecting to either really, really love it or really, really hate it. I hope I love it, but we'll see on that one. I think if I like it, it'll be one of my favourite books of the year, but if I don't like it, it will be a DNF. And The Night Circus as well, I think, has the potential to be one of my favourites, but I'm not getting into it yet. So yeah, like I said, I'll give that one a chance on audio. But yeah, I mean, I hope something becomes my best read of the year that I haven't read yet, because I've had a really good reading year. Like in terms of numbers, I haven't read as much as I normally would, but I've read some really, really good books and quite a lot of 5-star reads, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. So question 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for the next year? And yes, to an extent I have. I haven't been focusing much on like specific books that I want to read just yet. I have a huge TBR that I would like to tackle. My plan currently is to do a sort of TBR challenge where I try and get my TBR down from, it's about 200 at the moment. I want to try and reduce that maybe to like half, and I know I'm not going to do that through being able to read all of the books, because I don't read 100 books in a year. That's just not a goal that's attainable to me. But I would like to become more ruthless at getting rid of things from my TBR when I've lost interest in them, because I've got stuff on there that I've had on there for years and I've had plenty of chance to pick those books up and I just haven't. So I think I'm going to do some sort of challenge where I try and get that down to maybe like 100, and just a place I feel a lot more comfortable with through being ruthless with sort of what I add and what I keep on my TBR, and also DNFing more. I've definitely got better at that over the last few years. Olivia Savannah mentioned in a video recently that she's getting better at DNFing, and she was always reluctant to do it because you invest up your time and you read 100 pages of a book and you just think, well, my sort of number of books that I've read at the end of the month or the end of the year is going to be low because I've DNF'd this book when I've given it 100 pages of my time, when actually when you're just pushing through a book it really slows down the pace of your reading, and you could put that down and read like 2 books in the time it would take you to finish a book that you're not really enjoying. And I thought that was a really good point, and it's something that I'm gonna try and keep getting better at. Just acknowledging that I'm not vibing with a book and putting it down. But that is the end of the tag. They were all the questions. That was probably the shortest video I've ever filmed, so you can thank me for that one. I am planning on doing a couple of reading vlogs before the year is out if I find the time. I'd like to do a Dark Academia reading vlog. I've just started filming a reading vlog where I'm sort of getting through all the books I mentioned in question 1 and just trying to finish those off. And I'll maybe try and do like a festive reading vlog as well, because I have a little bit of time over the festive period where I can just dedicate some time to reading and just doing cozy things. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you've done the end of year book tag in the comments down below, and I'd love to watch a video. Let me know what your favourite book of the year was, I guess. I'll be hopefully filming my favourite books of the year shortly, and yeah, have a good one. I will see you again in another video. Bye.